All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the We Book It podcast. This is your Sunday night stunner episode. And listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Also, happy Juneteenth to everybody that celebrates this Juneteenth weekend. Definitely want to forget that. Also, yeah, man, we are here with the best damn We Book It crew, and I have three of the best to talk about every single thing going on with wrestling right now. Got some key choice topics tonight. Some stuff is gonna fire you up. But before we get into all of that, I gotta introduce the best damn crew to you. First and foremost, guys, we got the workhorse of the podcast. He is rocking a USA jersey right now, soccer jersey, looking way too slick in it. Guys, it is that man, the myth, the legend, the host of the AEW All Elite Recap, Coach Man. What's going on, Coach?
Thank you for that introduction, Virgil. Yes, I am repping the U.S. after our victory over Australia. Moving on to the round of 32. This is a special group. I love watching those guys play, hoping for big things coming from them. But let's focus on some wrestling right now, because I know you got some good topics on the plate for us tonight, Virgil.
Absolutely, as always. And of course, guys, we have the queen, the cuisine, Queen Bee herself of the We Book It podcast. Her name is Miss A.C. Slater.
Yeah, happy Friday, happy Juneteenth, happy early Father's Day. Excited for a special edition of the show tonight, and hopefully we can talk about some good topics.
Of course, we're going to talk about good topics, because I wouldn't dare not give you good topics to talk about. And of course, last but not least, we got the newbie, the Rook, coming in today, gonna give us some of all those scathing hot takes. You know, the more I talk to him, the more I realize this man thinks outside of the box every single day. I ain't mad about it though, because like I said, he's gonna give us some good content. That's right, the man, the myth, the legend, Chicago made Mac Man. What's up, Mac?
Yo, what's going on, man? I like that outside the box thing, man. But you know, you're not escaping that Tiago Splitter.
Look, I had to talk about it. He's the new coach of the Bulls. I talk everything Chicago
You put
sports.
the man on the front page, man. You could have put anybody on the front page, but him.
It was whatever. Anyways. We appreciate each and every last one of you guys for tuning
But happy
in.
Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to Virgil, for sure.
Thank you.
And Mr. Slater.
Oh yeah, Mr. Slater.
Yes.
Coachman has not ran that race yet. No. But we do have to wish Happy Father's Day also to Fritos and to the upcoming father. And Teddy Long is a dad too.
Yep.
And then of course, Tank is also getting ready to have his child in the next month or so. So yeah,
it's coming up. Yeah.
Shout out to all the fathers.
Absolutely. Which I don't know how he feels like his beautiful wife is gonna let him with a new baby come to the wrestling show with us. Like, it's insane. Like, mine is 11. Will be a year old by the time that show happens. So I'm in the clear. He's a year old now, but he gonna have a fresh born baby. I don't know how he expects his wife to be like, okay, yeah, go ahead and leave and come with us. But he already paid me for his ticket. So yeah, however you get in, player, my lips are sealed.
You find a good babysitter, a good grandma, grandpa. That's what I've learned.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. One or the other. All right, y'all. So yeah, show looks a little bit different tonight. I am clearly not in the studio, but we're still gonna do what we have to do. First and foremost, UFC hosted a UFC.
I watched it, so
Can
I
we
can comment.
let's should we just have AC take it from here on this one, Virgil? Because I know she's got a lot to say.
Bruh, her face, it sent me immediately. I'm like, bruh, I couldn't even get the rest of the topic out because she just immediately looked at me like, all right, okay. UFC recently hosted an event featuring the Octagon on the front lawn of the White House, the first of its kind ever happening as such. Big names attended this event, not only from the UFC, but also from their TKO countermate, the WWE, including Paul Triple H Levesque and Roman Reigns were both in attendance for the show. This leads me to ask the question: should WWE consider doing a show on the front lawn of the White House? It would be the first of its kind to ever be done that way. We know the Levesques, as well as the McMahons, as well as TKO in general, do have a good relationship with the president that's currently sitting in office. This will be record breaking, would do great numbers, and will be the first of its kind. Is this something that should be done? Do you guys want to see this or not? And if you don't, tell me why. Or if you do, tell me why. And make sure you guys comment in the if you're reading this on why not you
Mhm.
want this to be done. I'm going to give it away to AC. Go ahead, AC.
Yeah, so I have thoughts about this. And I will say I caught the tail end of some of the fights because we were recording on Sunday, but my husband was watching some of it just kind of out of pure interest. And I think to preface it, we know that Linda McMahon is the current Secretary of Education. Obviously has a good relationship with the current president. Not to get too political, but we did see Triple H there. We saw Roman Reigns there. And I know that WWE and UFC, they're under the same TKO umbrella, but I don't think I want to see it because, I know that TKO had a lot of sponsors for the fight on the White House lawn. And I guess there were some cool moments. You saw the fighters walking through the White House. They came out, walked on the South Lawn, but, they used $60 million of taxpayer money. Between Secret Service, U.S. Park Police, National Park Service, Department of Homeland Security. There were some security threats. I don't know if I want to see taxpayer money spent on anything like that. That's just my take. It's a cool visual, I will say that. But also, I don't even know if it's a big moneymaker because the people that were there, they didn't sell tickets to the general public. And I know this because of some of my family's work where you had to reach out to a congressman to maybe get some tickets to watch this event live. So it's not a huge moneymaker. It's mostly for the aura farming. It's for streaming. It's a cool visual. And again, it's like, I don't think it really does much for the real fans. Like if you're just a real fan, you're probably not going to get a ticket unless you're cool with your congressman. I don't see that being a huge draw. And, I think it would alienate some people. So I'd like to see the politics kept out of it, do a cool show in DC. That would be fun. That would be great. But I don't want to. I don't want to see it for WWE, and I don't think it makes them any more money. So that's just one take from one woman. So I'll leave it at that.
The last time WWE was in DC, they did huge numbers, and that was John Cena's retirement match against Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the last time WWE was in DC and did huge numbers. But yeah,
And
I
then they
can't.
all got booed out of the arena.
Yeah.
And at least you could buy tickets to that because with
Right.
this, you have to have a connection. You have to ask for a ticket. So it's not, it's a lot of celebrities. It's a lot of people who know people, but it's not for the fans unless you're watching it live.
Unless they book Conor McGregor versus Roman Reigns on the White House lawn, then I think everybody might want to see that.
We'll be up at the gates, like
Right.
trying to get a peek.
Let us in. Come on.
Eric
Graffiti.
Andre, let us in.
Mac man, what are your thoughts, man?
I honestly, I think we could do without it. The concept of it sounds cool, but I feel like we're doing too much having the Secret Service walk them out, coming through the White House. Like that was entirely too much on that end. But I do think it's a cool idea. Like I like the concept. But like you said about the tickets and everything, we gotta go to congressmen and everything. Like I just feel like if you reshaped it a little bit, maybe not this president in office. We can make that happen.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Coachman, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with kind of what Max said about it. It's a great idea in theory. I don't think uh, execution wise it's going to be the best idea. I think there's plenty of other, if you want an event kind of like that, like one of those outdoor venue kind of things, I think there's plenty of other places you could go to first that wouldn't create such a big deal about this, about the area, the tickets, etc. I think
Yeah.
there is definitely a lot more arenas, or even if we wanted to get to like historical sites that you could go to, like
Hmm.
why not do it at Mount Rushmore and see, have that,
Ooh.
like I'm just saying
Do it the
that,
Jefferson Memorial. Make them
yeah,
fight.
do it at the Lincoln Memorial. He was a boxer and wrestler. Like, it just makes sense.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, I mean, I think general consensus is it's a good concept, good idea. There's a lot of different places in Washington D.C. where you could get a lot of click worthy views, or like places that'll look cool visually for everybody. However, it may be just not at the White House. Maybe that's a one and done deal, or maybe that's just a UFC thing. And I can't lie to you guys. I agree. I think so. I think in theory it all looks and sounds cool, but it may cost too much and it will alienate the people. I think also that it's just kind of us doing too much, and I think that, like I said, there's a lot of other places that you can choose from. So all of you had great points about that. However, I do think that there's probably something in the works for WWE. If I know TKO, they're all about the money. It would not shock me if something is announced for next year that it's gonna. I mean, and probably not a Saturday night's main event, but they'll do some show. They'll bring back Capital Punishment and do it again from the White House this time for the first time. Last time they did Capital Punishment, Barack Obama was our president. So,
We better
like
get
I said,
Goldberg for all them Goldberg walkouts we gonna have, man.
oh my gosh, no, I
Now
don't,
they're
I don't,
gonna
I don't,
they're
I
gonna
don't
do
think
Money in the Bank, and they're gonna take it from New Orleans again.
Money in the
tragedy,
Bank on the White House
tragedy.
law.
Man, I
Got
thought
to
I
go
saw
to
Now
the
that would
a
be
top.
a cool visual.
Got to go to the
yeah.
top of the White
The
House to
White
grab it.
House.
Oh my gosh. And I thought them fighting to the top of Titan Tower was crazy. Like they started at the bottom of Titan Tower during COVID, during Money in the Bank,
Hmm.
and you had to fight all the way to get to the top of Titan Towers, and they hung the briefcase on the top of Titan Towers. That was insane. But it gave us a lot of great moments, like Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles fighting in the Vince
Hmm.
McMahon's office. It was hilarious.
Yeah, imagine a fight in the
Uh,
Oval Office.
All for
Oh, there
Otis.
you go.
Pretty much Rey Mysterio being thrown off the top of Titan Tower by Baron Corbin.
Oh man.
Those two matches get a lot of hate. I personally really like those. I thought it
That
was a
whole
great
era,
idea.
that whole era gets a lot of hate, but it really was one of the best eras. The whole Thunderdome era of WWE, where like they had to record a bunch of stuff. Like that's how we got that visual of Dom Mysterio being thrown out the ring by Roman Reigns, and we never saw how Dom landed. He just flew. All you saw him was fly over. Because they're able to put mats on the other side where he could land on and stuff like that, where
Hmm.
he could have an easy landing on that side. I mean, like I said, that whole era, the my favorite obviously is the match for Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns for the Universal title, where like I said, where it's falls count anywhere in the arena. And
Hmm.
literally, like I said, Roman Reigns runs that man over with a golf course, with a golf cart. And you just see Kevin Owens rolling or being hit with the golf cart. Great visuals. Great visuals. So yeah, that. I think that's all for that one. Where we headed?
Yeah. I think our next topic that we discussed about tonight's show is why all the TNA departures.
Yeah, so I think we've seen guys, and I don't know if you guys have paid attention or watched. But a lot of people, including like greats or people that have been like running things in the back of TNA, have been leaving. They've been asking for their departure, or they have been granted their release, or they were, released on their own. Still AJ Francis still has a job. Shout out to Dollar. Top Dollar still has a job. Because when everybody started hating on TNA, he was the one that stuck up for TNA. He really feels like an affinity to that brand. But guys like Tommy Dreamer is no longer in the back. Like I said, and some of the talent like Sammy Callahan are gone from TNA. Like some names that Tessa Blanchard, is with CMLL now fully. Like I said, so TNA's got a lot going on right now. They just had like massive either departures or releases like WWE style, and they at the same time simultaneously the news came out that them and OVW are working out a deal where OVW will be basically the AAA to TNA's WWE. Like I said, where they'll siphon in talent from OVW. OVW is owned and ran by Al Snow, so he's the coach teacher there. Shout out to Al Snow. And yeah, so what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Well, I think
Any
TNA is going through maybe a little bit of a financial issue if I'm being honest, because they have also uh, aside from people looking for releases or being asked for the release, I do know that they have also laid off some of their like on the ground team, not necessarily producers, but like setup crew and everything for the rings. Um, I just actually saw on Facebook that somebody from TNA actually posted about some having fans get volunteer opportunities to help set up the ring and everything, and people are like, really, you're going, like, read the room here, you just laid off a bunch of people and now you're asking
Wow.
for volunteer help, like, that's,
Volunteer roadies.
yeah, exactly. So it's not looking good for them. I think the TV deal isn't working out like they thought it might. I don't know what the ratings are like, but that just has to be my assumption. And I think it doesn't have the people really want TNA to have that connection with WWE still. If you look at AAA, why they are succeeding so much is because you do have a little bit of WWE sprinkled in there, but it doesn't take over the whole show aside from the El Grande Americano uh, match. But after that, it is still um, focused on the AAA talent and not necessarily just the WWE talent. I think if you sprinkle in a little bit of that talent again, like when they had the invasion angle, and then you also had Trick Williams as your double champ, I think that really helped boost their ratings and their popularity. Now it's just kind of like, okay, they're going back to what they used to do, and it's not resonating with fans anymore because they saw what the product could be, if that makes
hmm
sense.
Yeah, it's hard to go back from being like a part of WWE to now saying, okay, now we want to go and make a name for ourselves. That's why a lot of people don't want to get in bed with WWE because, like I said, if they drop you or if you don't allow them to own the company, which I don't think the owner of TNA was going to allow them to do, I think that's a part of the big part of the problem is like, that's where you find yourself these issues where fans are expecting those type of caliber of shows and you aren't able to give that to them because you just don't have the talent to. So now you've worked with AEW, you've worked with WWE. Now you have to try to stand on your own 2 feet, and you can see, they're failing right now. AC or Mac, y'all can give y'all thoughts.
Yeah, I just think like there's definitely some financial issues underlying there. I know I don't know if it's been confirmed because I haven't been keeping up too closely this week, but I think Tessa also mentioned something that she's been doing a lot of work with CMLL, and she was kind of put in a position where it's like you have to choose between TNA or working with them. And given that TNA works with WWE and they have the partnership with AAA, that might be kind of like a conflict of interest. And she's also had some controversies as well. I think if you know, you know.
Right.
So that's probably part of it. But I think there's definitely some underlying financial issues going on there. And, they've had a lot of their, talent that brought in eyes, like, Joe Hendry has gone to WWE, Jordan Grace has gone to WWE. So it's probably hard to maintain a roster and to get new talent in. So definitely think there's some kind of, issues financially kind of rippling from underneath.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with AC. Like even like I couldn't agree more. I believe that they are suffering from a money crisis. You could tell. But they kind of did it to themselves. I mean, you went into business with TNA. I mean, with WWE, and you gave your top stars to them, essentially. So like the people that would honestly like be the ones filling the seats right now, you went from having Joe Hendry to your champion to Mike Santana. Like I don't understand that, So
Who's also rumored to, once his contract is done, go to WWE.
and he probably is NXT at best. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you don't have nobody that can really hold it together unless we go ahead and promote Moose, put Moose back in the
Let's
spot.
go. Let's
You
go.
know, so it's they kind of are losing right now on all angles. I do like the Amazing Red signing, bringing him back. That should be a lot. That should be real helpful for him. But definitely have lost in a lot of areas. I don't know how I would have structured the WWE thing to work out in my favor, but they definitely did not take advantage of it the way they should have. I feel like they lost more than they could have took advantage. Right now, the only thing they really have working for them is like the Hardys with Jeff and Matt doing the Willow and the Broken and stuff like that. Um, but it's going to take a lot of restructure. They've done it a couple of times now. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't know. I just feel like they definitely took some cuts. They had some very controversial people in there. Tessa Bradford being
Hmm.
one of them. Tommy Dreamer is just too old, so like it's time really was at that point anyway. So I don't know. Definitely going to do a rebuild. It's time to rebuild.
And see, I think that's the part where I may disagree, is like the fact that you don't need to rebuild. You need to call in favors. So I've also seen stuff out there that says that you can expect this fall for once once NXT's new people get established, that they're gonna start working with TNA again.
Mhm.
So like I said, the partnership isn't done. It's just they're on a break right now because NXT just got massacred, and WWE called up all their talent. So all of their talent is gone too. So it's all brand new faces there. So they're going to spend this summer trying to get you to know and fall in love with these new faces. Then they're going to start siphoning them into TNA or whatnot and having them kind of connect and work with TNA as they have in the past. So I don't hate it. Like I said, I think TNA needs to call in their favors. They've done a lot of favors for people. I mean, like I said, WWE kid called them, you know what I'm saying, when NXT was in need of a good storyline, of good people working together and stuff like that. And TNA answered. They did a partnership. It was beneficial for TNA because it made people who want to watch Thursday night. It got TNA that TV deal. And for NXT, it gave them something to do with their main people like Trick Williams, like Jordan Grace, and stuff like that. It gave them something to do until they got called up to the main roster. I think the partnership is still beneficial. You as TNA just got to bunker down right now. It's really their down season right now because remember, Bound for Glory is their WrestleMania.
Hmm.
That doesn't happen until like October, November. So for them right now, they're in their like, you know, what would you call it? It's not even Royal Rumble. It's like, it's
Backlash.
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 No, but yeah, they're
They
not at
had
their
some
peak right now.
anniversary, didn't they? Recently, no.
Yeah. So which Slammiversary is like their SummerSlam. So right now they're coming off of that and trying to move hold till what's next. Just give them till fall.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think TNA still has a lot left in the tank.
They do.
Again, they just have to go out there and establish their new talent, and that means stop giving TV time to guys like Dolph Ziggler, or Nick Nemeth, or what I'm saying, and people like that, and start giving time to the younger talent that you have there. I mean, and seeing what they're about.
If any
Another
organization can reinvent themselves, I do think it's TNA. I think about all the evolutions of TNA. Too bad Teddy's not here right now to give us the history, but they've gone through so many evolutions and they've weathered a
Yep.
lot of storms. So, I don't think it's over for them, but like you said, it's like a down season. So hopefully they can develop some new talent, recover. It's like I think even the next season of Dark Side of the Ring is covering the beginning of TNA, and they have some interviews with Jeff Jarrett. So if anybody can
Yeah.
do it and evolve, I think it's TNA. So I'll be excited to watch that.
Which, speaking of which, Mac, the baseball team down here in Springfield is owned by Jeff Jarrett, and he's at the ballpark all the time. So if you're a TNA original, like you say you are, you're gonna have to come down here and hang with your boy so we can go to the ballpark and meet Jeff Jarrett, bro.
I'm gonna hit him with my guitar.
Oh man. Like I said, listen, there ain't nobody better than Jeff Jarrett. Literally created created his own promotion and then made himself like a 13-time world champion in it.
It's stealing wives. So yeah,
Oh
respect.
man, Jeff Jarrett, boy. All right, where we headed from here, yo?
So I think one of the things we want to talk about is in WWE, going back to WWE, why hasn't Blake Monroe debuted yet? We keep seeing the promos. What's going on?
Coachman, what are your thoughts?
It's probably just what it's always been like for a bunch of our favorite wrestlers that we've been waiting to see or we're wondering where they went. Creative has no idea what they're doing with them. They're just going to keep teasing of like, oh well, we're going to wait for the right moment. Well, it's because they don't know what they want to do with her. You had a chance to put her in with Tiffany in the U.S. title picture. It looks like they're going with Jade instead. I don't expect her to make an appearance at Night of Champions. It's the only thing I could see the reason why is to give her a little bit of a break because she was nonstop on NXT like as soon as she was signed there. So maybe she's getting a little bit of a break, but that's the only thing I could think of. Other than that, it's just creative again, not knowing what to do with that's not a bloodline storyline.
Shots fired.
I mean, they do great with that. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's good stuff, but let's try and expand along some other storylines here.
What's your thought, back, man?
I mean, I kind of agree with I agree with what Coachman is saying. Definitely, I gotta be creative at this point. Is that thing that we had in the group chat about the work visas? Is that true?
That's just what they have reported, like with Joe Hendry and I forget who else was on that list. But yeah, that there is a visa
I believe Blake was
issue.
on that list too. If
That
I'm not mistaken. That could be it, but on a major part, I mean, it's kind of hard to put a placement on her. U.S. title picture, she could be there. But do you really want to give her that main push too? SmackDown doesn't really have that many main title picture people because a lot of them are on that tag team stuff. So like maybe she might fit on that first. I mean, she did have a run in AEW before this, so like NXT didn't really have to happen like that. And also, got to remember a lot of people got pushed up without it being their time. So, could they be still trying to develop her behind the scenes? So I think it's either placement or still trying to develop a little bit into the role.
AC?
Yeah, I think I have two takes on this, one kind of cynical and one optimistic. So I'll start with the bad first. I think maybe they just, like Coach said, maybe they don't know what to do with her creative wise. I think, watching her run in AEW with Tony Storm, like that was one of the greatest storylines and wrestling I've watched in a very long time. But when I think about if they're trying to set her up against Tiffy, like appearance wise, they're very similar. They have like Barbie girl vibes. They're glamorous. And that might be a challenge about creative wise. Like, how do we frame that together? Different move set, different, styles, but still that might be a challenge for creative about how to set that up. So maybe that is like something they're still trying to work out. Now, my optimistic take is maybe they're waiting until SummerSlam or after SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is in Minnesota. That's Tiffy's home state. And, maybe they want to give it, one last run or let her have kind of some spotlight. And maybe there's an interference. Maybe there's something that builds up a feud between the two of them. I mean, this assumes that we think that they're going to set up a feud between her and Tiffy. And that might not be the case, but I could see that happening. And I think that would be fun, like to wait until like a pay-per-view to build it up. So that would be like my positive take on it. So we'll see. I would like to see more of her because, Mariah May in AEW was wonderful. So
I wanted to say a couple things. First and foremost, I followed obviously Mariah May, Blake Monroe, since her days in AEW. I mean, what her and Toni Storm did was by far one of the best things that I've seen in wrestling in years. It was really good. It was cinematic. It was bloodline-esque cinema every week.
And women got to run the blade.
Yeah, they did, and they bladed a lot, both of them. Like, I think one of their encounters, Toni Storm bladed like in the first like 5 minutes of the match. Like, I mean, she that girl gets busy. Anyways, all that being said, I've not liked anything that Mariah May has done since she's come from AEW into WWE. I think that her NXT run was lackluster because they refused to give her a championship. They made her run the gauntlet. They made her fight the likes of people that just were not on the same caliber of her. You're coming from being a world champion, and then they bring you to NXT, and you're losing to nobodies every week. And then like I said, then you rush her NXT run and call her up to the main roster just to do nothing with her. And to the point of the visa part in these, just last week she was at Tiffany Stratton's house on Tiffany Stratton's Live, and she shoved cake in Tiffany Stratton's face. She's here. She's not overseas. She's here. She's in Florida. Where she stays, which is where Tiffany stays and everything like that. Like, so she's here. She's not anywhere like that. So
I was going to think, I think more of the issue is with the out of U.S. talent traveling outside the U.S. and coming in,
right,
is my understanding. So
right, yeah. So with that being said, this leads me to where I feel I should be hopeful, and I don't think it's going to be her versus Tiffany Stratton, at least not right now. Later on down the road, could she absolutely be like a crazed Tiffany Stratton fan, or like try to show up Tiffany Stratton and show like she's better than her? Absolutely. But for right now, the money is putting her with Chelsea Green. I think making them into a tag team. I think them both like annoying the hell out of Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, complaining, literally, basically the Iconics 2.0. And like making them into that. And I've said this before. I think that's where your money is. Chelsea Green, anything you give her, she's going to make into $1 million money. Like she owns whatever you put her in, and the fans will appreciate her for it. And I think Blake Monroe tagging with her for a while and then turning on her, and then like I said, they could feud over a championship, or they could just feud over hate. I mean, I don't hate it either way, but I think there's money there to be made with those two.
I would watch it.
How many times are we gonna let Chelsea Green not be the champ though? I feel like when's she gonna get a push?
Never. They've already said that they don't view her as a world championship talent, which sucks because Michael P. Hayes said it on the Unreal thing. Like that's one of the things they revealed, is that's why you haven't seen Chelsea Green ever win the big one. Now who's to say that they wouldn't give her a Daniel Bryan push one day, where it's like, here, nigga, damn, like basically is what I call that type of
They
push.
gonna
Like,
have
okay,
to, man.
like
They gonna have
fine,
to.
like, here, take it, please. Like, so you can stop talking to us about this.
They gonna
But
have to.
yeah, I mean, listen, she's undeniable. everything that she does is great.
She is.
I really
Hmm.
enjoy Chelsea Green. Like I said, like and I never expect I never thought I would say that. But then I went back and started doing my homework and I watched her stuff in TNA. And I watched her stuff on in Lucha Underground. And then I started to realize like this girl been it for a while
That
and just
match with
never
Penta, oh my
yeah,
Cool.
gosh.
Such a
yeah.
great match.
Yeah, she just never got the credit that she deserves. I feel like that's kind of the story of her and Matt Cardonia in general in wrestling. Like they just never got the credit they deserve for how good they've been, and they've been good for a while, both of them. So
Definitely. And she's so multi-talented. I know she's talked on podcasts that it's like, hey, like, she didn't say the exact same words, but it's basically like, I'll be a jobber if it gets me more opportunities, maybe in Hollywood or acting. So, she
yeah,
is just so talented. So
yeah, yep. So I like it. I like it. But yeah, Blake Monroe being put with Chelsea Green, I think is the where the money is at. If I had the book, that's what I would do. But I just have the book on here. That's all.
I'll call up Triple H for you.
Thank you. Hey, real quick, I have a throwback moment. Can I do it real quick?
Yeah.
Do
Hmm.
it.
All right, let's do this throwback moment. Let me see here. Wait.
All the classic moments with Big Daddy C on the throwback moment of the week.
All right. So here is your throwback moment of the week. On this day in history, and I know C gonna be mad that he's not here for this one, because this is right up his alley. On this day in history, guys, all three members of the Shield held the
Ah, yes.
WWE Championship in the same PLE. The night started with Roman Reigns being your WWE champion going into Money in the Bank. He will face off for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. At that time, is what it was called, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And it was him versus Seth Rollins in the match. Well, Seth Rollins got the upper hand and ended up beating Roman Reigns and becoming WWE World Heavyweight Champion in that match. After that match, earlier in the night, Dean Ambrose had won the Money in the Bank briefcase. He comes, slides into the ring from behind, hits Seth Rollins with the briefcase, and then cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, hits him with a dirty deeds for the 1, 2, 3, and Dean Ambrose becomes your WWE World Heavyweight Champion in that moment. Guys, it was pandemonium. Dean Ambrose went out on the town that night, spent a lot of money, lost the WWE Championship, got it back. I don't know where it was left. It was left in a bar or two, I think. And then they woke up, they delivered it to his hotel room, according to him, the next night on Raw. The next night on Raw, you have Seth Rollins come out. He's complaining about how it's unfair that Dean Ambrose cashed in on him after he beat Roman Reigns. Roman tells him to stop complaining about it, that, like I said, and that he reminds him that the heist of the century happened when Roman Reigns was close to winning and beating Brock Lesnar. And like I said, they go back and forth about that for the longest of time, before Dean Ambrose comes out. And his psychotic WWE championship run was hilarious. It was great for TV.
Hmm.
And it also ended up giving us him versus AJ Styles, for the WWE Championship, which was another great match. Where I think AJ ends up beating him for that championship, and he ends up turning Dean Ambrose into an even crazier person trying to win that championship back later that year. And then, of course, the next year after that, you would have John Cena versus AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship, which was by far one of the best WWE Championship matches John Cena ever had in his career. Go figure, it would be with AJ Styles. But anyways, the one thing that we never got out of the Shield, which was supposed to happen, was supposed to be Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for a title, and we never got that. This is the closest that you will ever get to it. If there's one outlier that I don't think ever makes a return to WWE, I would bet my money it would probably end up being Dean Ambrose. I just don't see it. He left on his own terms, and he made a name for himself as John Moxley. I'm proud of him for it. I think he should be proud of it. And like I said, moving on from there, I think that he has made himself into an AEW original,
Yes.
and he's made a name for himself as Mox. He's got his wife there. She like works in creative as well as does TV stuff.
Interviews, yeah, Renee.
Yeah, like I said, Renee Paquette. So, like I said, I mean, and they have their daughter there, and they raised her in AEW. He has a good relationship with Tony Khan. That doesn't mean things can always change, because I thought Punker was going to be a lifer,
Never
and we
say
saw
never.
right, and I
Yep.
definitely thought Cody was going to be a lifer because he helped start the damn thing, and he ended up leaving. So, never say never. WWE will always be home, I think, but at the same time, it was time for a change, and it was a pendulum shift, as he called it, and he did his thing in AEW. But that's the one that got away. That's the match. If there's ever gonna be one that got away that didn't happen, that's the match, the Shield match, and it'll always be that what if. But this is the closest we got to it. This is your throwback moment.
All the classic moments with Big Daddy C on the throwback moment of the week.
That was a great throwback moment.
Thanks,
Nostalgia.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I remember
Appreciate it.
watching that live, and I was going crazy when when Seth won the championship back, but then also when Ambrose's music hit, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to do it, isn't he?
Yep.
And
Big moment.
you can't forget during Dean Ambrose's championship run, JBL on commentary. I can't believe this lunatic's representing our company.
God, and that's another thing. That's another thing that's underrated. JBL on commentary is definitely underrated. He's goated on commentary. I think like I said, he's done a lot of great work on commentary. His King Booker stuff is some of the best. Or him calling Teddy Long a racist is hilarious. So many good moments. So many good moments with JBL on commentary. Also, I was today years old when I learned that Roman Reigns' eyes, and I don't know why. Obviously, I'm not looking at another man's eyes like that because I'm not Kum Sa. But like,
Unless it's Cody.
right?
Boom.
I didn't look in Cody Rhodes' eyes. AC, thank you very much. I was trying to tell him to finish. Whatever. Anyways.
I wish Teddy was here.
Man, I mean, see, that's a zing if I ever got one, because she definitely just slid that on in there, like real good, real quick.
You ain't know how to respond.
Bro, I didn't know what to say. I'm sitting there like, okay. Anyways, like I was saying though, I was today years old when I learned that they made Roman Reigns wear contacts to make him more relatable and look less scary, I guess, to people. Like
Yeah,
his
those
eyes are
blue
actually brown.
contacts.
Yeah, they made him put on blue contacts.
It's like the Cheech and Chong like sketch. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where it's like when the actor wears brown contacts to turn his blue eyes brown, but turn my brown eyes blue.
Wow.
I think it's Up in Smoke 1, but there's a line about that. So poor Roman.
Poor Roman is for real. Vince McMahon did everything he could to possibly try to ruin Roman Reigns' character.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from the sucker and succotash line to the yeah, to the contacts, to all of that stuff. And literally Roman Reigns still overcame all of that and is still your tribal chief. As he said, he is $1 billion check. He was just waiting to be cashed. And I mean, for what it's worth, from the moment you put that man with Paul Heyman until right now, he is still number one. I mean, I like I said, I have a lot of respect for Cody Rhodes and what he did, but this is still Roman Reigns' company. Make no mistake about it.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to say, Mac? What you got to say?
I agree with you. I mean, we all know who was at that USC event.
Yeah,
You know?
hey, yeah, true.
We know who was at that USC event.
Hey, listen, but let's also be clear. Raheem wasn't going to show up to no Trump event, bro. Let's just put it that way too, bro. Cody Raheem Rhodes was not showing up to no Donald Trump event, bro.
He from Georgia.
Yeah, he is, but he's also black. he is officially one of us. He's not going to no to him nor Coachman are showing up to no Donald Trump event, bro. Neither one. They aren't. They aren't
He
doing it.
still wants to
I
be
think
invited to
Trump.
the
I
cookout.
think Cody go to the White House. I think Cody go to the White House.
Coach, would Cody go to the White House?
No.
Based on what he did to you, he going to the White House.
Tragedy.
Hey, that was aiding you though. That was aiding.
Everybody got jokes until
Hey,
AC,
cuz
what's the next topic? Just
hey,
move on.
that was good, man. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. I didn't say
Oh,
nothing wrong.
Mm.
well,
Oh,
speaking
God.
of the pillars of the company, since we've touched on Roman and Raheem, let's talk about, who's been MIA for a little bit, Mr. CM Punk. Oh,
Yeah.
what role do we think he's going to play at all at SummerSlam?
I like that. All right. So yeah, CM Punk is rumored to be headed back to WWE, and he's rumored to play a major part in SummerSlam, in the SummerSlam games, according to King Booker. What are your thoughts? Where would you have CM Punk be? What would you have him be a part of and do at SummerSlam if you had the book? I'm gonna go ahead with Coachman first.
Well, I know part of his absence was he was promoting that movie he was in with Justin Long. It was like a cop vampire movie. It was actually an interesting concept. I don't know how well it did or if it was more of just like one of those indie releases. But for me to get him back in the scene, I think it would be great to have him come if the route they're going to go is Jay versus Cody at SummerSlam. I want to see CM Punk interfere in that match to cost Jay the title so that he can go against Cody. Because you already know Punk has history with Roman in the bloodline. He doesn't like him. They respect each other, but then they also hate each other now. So it could be Punk's way of getting back at Roman for taking his title. And I know he's friends with Jay in real life. They could bring that storyline in as well. There's some realism you can bring into this story. So that's what I would love to see, but I don't know if they're going to pull the trigger or not on it.
I like it. MacMan, where you going?
I definitely see he gonna be in a world title picture. I'm kind of torn because I feel like WWE might give Oba the Jericho treatment, give him the two main events, with Brock night 1, Roman night 2. It's like the potential matches in the King of the Ring, they have teased both matches. We did see Jay Uso and Cody had that conversation a while back with Jay staring at the title. So like that sets that match up. And after Roman won the title, he called out Oba a couple of times. So it's like we already have had the teasing of each match. So like I feel like Cody will win at Night of Champions. We get CM Punk back. Like I don't think that we bring him back on night on SummerSlam. He's gonna have to come back a little bit before SummerSlam. So we'll get some build up. But I definitely think that he might be the one to challenge Cody for that title at SummerSlam. We did get it teased. We did get CM Punk after SmackDown holding up the title while he was the world champion. We did get some slight promos either Raw and the SmackDown closest WrestleMania. So I definitely think that Triple H loves his storytelling, long storytelling. So we're definitely gonna get Punk in the title picture during SummerSlam.
What do you think, AC?
I mean, I agree with MacMan here because think about it. July 6th, Raw is going to be in Chicago. So CM Punk's already on the posters. I don't know honestly, it's not really a WWE show in Chicago unless he makes an appearance. So maybe he comes back that night, introduces himself into the title picture again. I could see a build-up between him and Cody, and maybe there's an interference at SummerSlam. I don't know if they're going to go ahead and book a match so quickly because that's going to be in August. But I can see them building up to something and giving him a storyline. Punk versus Cody, like we've seen it teased for a while here. So I'd like to see it. That they have a history together. But I think we're going to see him back before. Like I said, it's not a Chicago show without Mr. Punk. So.
Kind of tying into our next thing that we have going on, our next topic that we have. I think twofold. I'm gonna hit you guys with twofold. I do think CM Punk's returns back before SummerSlam. I do think that Sami Zayn is going to end up winning this triple threat match at Night of Champions
Ooh.
to become WWE champion.
You think they're going to pull the trigger?
And I think they're going to pull the trigger because somehow, some way, even if it's a short reign for WWE champion, just him being able to say, I was WWE champion. It's kind of like the Mick Foley treatment. Like there are certain superstars that don't have long reigns as WWE champion. Like Mick Foley was champion on 3 separate occasions. Two of those occasions came against The Rock, and he was champion for a month or less. And then his last one, last WWE championship reign, he was champion for a day. He basically won. He beat Stone Cold and Triple H at SummerSlam, and then turned around the next night and Triple H beat him for the WWF Championship that next night on Raw. So Sami Zayn doesn't necessarily have to have a long championship reign. I don't think he will. I think he may get the Drew McIntyre treatment. I don't think they're going to put the title back on Cody. I think Cody's going to chase. I do think CM Punk is going to win that WWE Championship and probably beat Sami Zayn to win it. And it could even be in a triple threat or fatal 4-way match at SummerSlam, pitting Gunther against Zayn against Cody against Punk for the title. Like I said, it would be great to do. I mean, Triple H doesn't really like to book fatal 4-way matches like that, as you can see. But I think this one makes sense, entering Punk into the title picture.
It'd
And
be
like I
fun.
said, yeah, I mean, Punk has already beaten Gunther for the world title, so he can automatically say, like, I've already been there, done that with you, Gunther. He can come in and say, Sammy, me and you never really got it on one. And then, of course, like I said, I mean, him and Cody itself is box office right there, and everybody wants to see that. CM Punk has already told Cody Rhodes, when that championship gets too heavy for you and it starts to change you, I'm gonna be there to take it from you. He told him that straight up. So, like I said, I mean, I'm not. It would not shock me if he was there in some capacity to take that championship from Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes has to make the climb to get it back. Potentially, I mean, he is QB1, so we'll see.
Well, it's going to be scary when it happens because all the pictures they have of Punk bulking up in the gym,
Yeah,
it's going to be on.
yeah. What's you guys' thoughts on this triple threat match that's been booked for Night of Champions? Do you guys think they pulled the trigger with Sami Zayn? I mean, I just gave my reaction. What are your thoughts? Go ahead, Coachman.
Well, first off, I love that we're doing a triple threat because
Yeah,
I think it is a nice change of pace of what the booking has been recently. In fact, even on SmackDown with the special guest referee match, when was the last time we saw one of those? Was that a couple SummerSlams ago when it was Seth being the special guest or Punk being the special guest referee for
Seth and Drew.
Yeah. I mean, I remember during the Attitude Era, you used to have all these different kinds of matches almost weekly or at least once every 2 weeks. So the fact that I get that they're trying to make them special occasions, but don't be afraid to keep mixing it up because when you fall into a lull kind of with some of the booking, it gets tedious or it becomes too predictable in my eyes. So you add this in, this triple threat, you have more possibilities. Like you said, Virgil, of you think that they're going to pull the trigger and have Sammy win the title. I can see that. I can see that happening. It's not going to be a predictable, well, no, they're going to keep building up Cody because it doesn't make sense and everything. Now you have that, like I keep saying, unpredictability, and makes it fun as a wrestling fan of like you are just along for the ride and you don't know what's going to happen instead of being like, oh, they're going to do this again. Yep, I was right. Stupid match.
If anybody is able to talk about the predictability of WWE, it's you, because that predictability helped you hold on to the booking championship for damn near 3 to 4 months, because it was just, he was like, I already know what's gonna happen, guys. I can tell you, and he booked it right every time, and he kept winning. Like, so, I mean, like I said, kudos to you for being able to be in Triple H's mind, or just be able to point out and see, like, no, this shit is redundant. I don't know. Like I said, it's good for you with the championship, but bad for the rest of us if we want the
Mm-hmm.
title. Go ahead, Mac, man. What's your thoughts? Are they gonna pull the trigger with Zayn? What's your thoughts on the triple threat?
If I could cuss, I'll say H no. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. We have definitely missed our mark with Sami Zayn. I feel like Sami Zayn's time was at least 2 WrestleManias ago. Um, when Drew McIntyre beat Cody Rhodes, he had a buzz still.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn has no buzz. I definitely think he deserves a title. Like, I will not lie about that one. I definitely believe he deserves it. Um, but I think if there's anybody right now on that roster, the SmackDown roster, that could take that title off Cody right now without Punk being in the picture, is Gunther. The man has had I've said it so many times, the man has had a crazy run this year. He retired my personal wrestling favorite, AJ Styles, and he retired what WWE is saying, John Cena being the GOAT. So you definitely
Hey,
I
it ain't just WWE saying it.
okay, you could say it. Um uh John Cena, who a man that needs no introduction.
Thank you. The GOAT. Period.
Getting retired by Gunther, that means that man's been chosen. I definitely think, he definitely is the man that can take that title off Cody, not Sami Zayn. So unfortunately, Sami, he's going to he's getting his due diligence of a title shot after losing being the United States champion. But fresh off a loss of WrestleMania, they better not put that title on him. Cody or Gunther in my eyes.
Go ahead, AC.
I think Virgil, you had a good point that we could see Sammy having maybe a short title run that he comes out on top, and I think it's fun that there is going to be a three-way for the championship, and Sammy's been putting in a lot of work. And what I could see is, given the location of the event, they're going to be in Saudi. Sammy is of Syrian descent. He'll come out there, and he's done in the past. He can speak fluent Arabic, really in touch with the culture there. And I can see that, they give it to him there, and they set up a good match. And again, it wouldn't be totally predictable. And maybe he gets a short run, and that way it's like, we give him his flowers. He can, do some good things, and it works for the audience and the location for this event. So I could see WWE and TKO weighing those factors and saying, yeah, like, let's put the belt on him for a while, even if it's a short run. And I haven't been the biggest Sammy fan, but I think, the man's paid his dues, and he's been doing this a long time, and he's talented. So I think this would be the time and place to do it. So I'm going to say, I think Sammy's going to come out on top.
AC, you just made me believe even more. So now, when the title was on the line in a couple of weeks, y'all, I am picking Sami Zayn to win.
Make sure you book it. Just make sure you book it.
I got to do it now. She made me a believer.
Make it easy for me. Make it easy for me.
I have to. I got to do it. The title is up for grabs, as well as our Book It championship. And yeah, man. No, I mean, like I said, I forget that Night of Champions is gonna be in Saudi. That makes it even more apparent that it's
That's
gonna
just
be
a
Sami
toss
Zayn.
in. That's a toss in. That's a toss in
No,
to make it more appealing. Yes.
no, brother.
Now look, I'm not
That's
gonna lie. If he win, it will put a smile on my face. But come on, you can't book that. You can't book that. What's
why
the
not?
what storyline you gonna put behind it, even in a month away? You
Listen,
gonna let him?
he.
You gonna let Sami Zayn walk into SummerSlam? You're
Hmm.
WWE champion.
Yes,
No,
yes,
no,
It's
yes.
not that long between Night of Champions and SummerSlam. Let him have a month
Correct.
reign. The
no, no,
crowd will
no,
go
no.
wild. Like,
I'm not going to Minnesota to see Sami Zayn probably in the main event.
You are. You're correct. You're going to see Roman
They know
Reigns in
that's
the
not
main
main
event.
event. He's not main eventing no more. Night one. He's not. He's not main event material.
I listen. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk, or Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk versus Sami Zayn versus Gunther as a multi-man main event for, well, yeah, because then LA Knight would have to win the it would have to be LA Knight to win the or Oba. Ooh, okay. It'd have to be either LA Knight or Oba to win to win the King of the Ring, because
Jay
then
Uso.
they have to turn around and face Roman if you're gonna do the Fatal Four Way on the other side.
I think if Jay Uso even win, we getting a Batista turn. And you know what
No,
I
if
mean.
Jay Uso wins,
no,
And
we riot.
we gotta get a Batista. We gotta get a Batista call. We got to.
bro. First and
It's already
foremost,
starting to happen. It's already
fir-
starting to happen. He already putting Jacob against him.
first and foremost, they not gonna break the bloodline up again when they just got them back together. And the whole storyline right now, the whole purpose of the storyline right now is going to get Solo and bringing him back into the fold. So Roman is trying to bring unity back to his family as a humble tribal chief, but he got stubborn a-holes out there like Solo that don't want to come back home where they belong. And like I said, so he's gonna have to beat them into submission to come back. Him
Bro,
and Tyler Tonga.
nobody wants to watch
Unless,
that right now.
unless the whole reason why Solo ain't coming back is because the High Chief, Rocky Maivia, is telling them not to go under Roman Reigns guidelines.
Is Jay Uso gonna join the division? I know that's a far fetched thing to say, but listen to me. How does that Javon Evans gets hurt on Monday Night Raw? Just like that. It wasn't a breeze for him, but it was a little easier for him to beat him.
Hey, listen, y'all,
I
y'all,
kind
y'all
of
remember
like
at the
that
beginning of the show?
idea.
Did y'all remember at the beginning of the show when I introduced MacMan and I told y'all he think outside the box? This what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This type of thinking. I keep telling him, like, I really wish y'all could see our personal conversations, because I be telling him all the time, like, bro, what you're saying is great in La La Land, but this don't make sense. And he don't be listening to me. I be trying to tell him.
Hey, look, what listen, we're talking about entertainment, okay?
Sure.
How can we get entertained? That's entertaining right there.
It
That's entertaining.
Sure, fine, yes, it's entertaining. I would even like to make to turn around and make Jey Uso the leader of the division, because to me it makes more sense than to have somebody like Braun Breaker leading it when Braun Breaker ain't won nothing, you know. But again, we are hoping and waiting for something that I don't think is gonna happen.
The
I
Monday
I
Night
I
Raw
don't.
after that would be fire. The
I,
promo he would cut after that would be fire.
Imagine heel Jey Uso is the leader of the Vision with Paul Heyman behind him.
Hey, look, Oos, I can't stand Oos.
All right, man. On that note, we're gonna end this episode. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. From AC, from Mac, man, from Coach. I'm your host, Virgil. Until next week, keep those booking pencils sharp, man. Keep on booking, y'all.